Let's Talk Jinx, a weekly Jinx video we do every Wednesday about anything to do with Jinx, as well as this video acting as a weekly discussion thread on the Jinx subreddit, our League of Jinx. Make sure to go check that out. And every 2 weeks when a new patch hits, we talk about that patch, things that might affect Jinx in that patch, and then a pseudo AD carry tier list in relation to Jinx as well. So, apologies in advance if this video is kind of rushed or shortened and stuff. It is almost Thanksgiving, and we have places that we gotta be. So with that being said, hopefully you have a good one if you're celebrating, and let's just jump into the video. While there were no changes to Jinx directly, there was a change to one other AD carry, and it is Ezreal, but the change is also geared towards AP Ezreal. And so the changes might not affect the Jinx Ezreal matchup in the bottom lane, because in the bottom lane, he's probably going to still be building AD. But just in case he builds AP, the W base damage has been increased, the AP ratio now scales with rank, the R damage has been decreased against minions and non-epic monsters, but no longer falls off per hit. So basically, if you use Ezreal's ult and it passed through targets, it do less damage when it passed through people. It won't, so if you build an AP build, you can actually use it for a good damaging tool and also a wave clear tool, which is kind of weird because that's kind of why they nerfed AP Runeglaive Ezreal back in Season 5. His weakness is supposed to be kind of like a lack of wave clear, but to each their own. Again, he's probably not building AP Ezreal in the bottom lane. If this turns out to be super powerful, though, you might want to be aware that it might be coming. I don't really see it coming in the bottom lane. It's probably like a mid lane Ezreal thing, but again, just in case. Another change that might affect Jinx is Doran's Shield's passive regen is now based on missing health. And I say that because sometimes people take Doran's Shield on Jinx into an unfavorable matchup or a matchup with a lot of heavy poke and stuff. If you remember last year in the preseason, we even got like a Xerath support at one point with Comet. So there was like a lot of poke and stuff, experimentation happening. And if you find yourself in constant games where you need that extra sustain and you want the Doran's Shield because of it, it does do a little bit differently in terms of how the healing works now. Briefly, one change we talked about that probably won't really affect Jinx, since Jinx probably won't want it, is going to his Rageblade. However, it might affect the kind of AD carries Jinx is laning against, because it might mean on-hit AD carries, depending if it's really good or not, come back into the meta, and as such, if you're playing Jinx, you might be playing her into things like Kog'Maw, Varus, and such like that. So just a heads up, one of the more bigger changes, just in the preseason, but that might also affect Jinx in my opinion, is tower plating. I feel like, and I made a video about this, and people were kind of like, how dare you say it could be this way, even though in the video I clearly said it could be this way, and it could also be like a late game kind of a meta. You might want late game AD carries that can destroy towers like Tristana, Jinx, things with built-in attack speed so you can shove the lane in, get those tower platings down, and then get the tower as fast as possible. That probably is more going to be a case in pro play where they kind of coordinate around taking first tower more than solo queue. With that being said, because you have extra attack speed in your minigun, you might actually be good in this meta when it comes to focusing objectives specifically, regardless of what like the team comps and champions are meta, objective-wise. Like Tristana and Jinx are probably going to be two of the more powerful AD carries for taking these towers at least fast when the tower plating is still up because of that. So that being said, Rune stats, a bigger one. Rune stats are now separated from the trees, so you don't have to go precision to get like the attack speed and stuff that you used to get from the stats that were linked to precision specifically. If you want to go a different route, you want to go like resolve into inspiration because the matchup looks really bad and you need that, but you can still get, your attack speed, your adaptive force, and a defensive stat in the bottom right of the Rune page now. So with that being said, there were some changes to runes, of course. Fleet Footwork's AP ratio has been decreased. Jinx never really used that for the AP ratio, so that's not really affecting her. Celerity now amplifies movement speed bonuses rather than all movement speed, and no longer grants adaptive force. This one's a coin flip. Some people see this as it could be really great on things like Jinx because of her passive specifically, but then again on the PvE it did start at 13%, it got nerfed down to 8%, and maybe it's more of a niche kind of a thing for things like Hecarim and stuff, and now Jinx will go adaptive force instead. I'll leave that up to you guys to kind of debate in the comment section down below. That's kind of really it for all of the changes that might affect Jinx. In terms of a pseudo AD carry tier list, and I say pseudo AD carry tier list because it is the preseason. People are going to be experimenting, and we probably won't know for maybe a good solid week, especially with Thanksgiving coming up and people maybe not even playing or taking time off, to do and eat and feast and such, what the AD carry specific meta will be. I will say this, but note that this is 100% opinionated. This is probably wrong because it's opinionated. I'll word it like this. If you play lane bullies, like I kind of mentioned in the other video I mentioned, I feel you can have an advantage because you can shove the enemy lanes in and get extra gold off of those turret platings more faster and possibly snowball, get that first item power spike because you get all that extra gold a lot quicker, and that could be a thing. At the same time, I feel like if you are a late game scaling carry and you can kind of do the same thing, you can bring that late game to you faster from the extra gold you can get, from the attack speed you have to knock down those towers faster, and the tower plating as well. On hit might also be kind of decent because going to his Rageblade. We're going to have to wait and see, let the dust settle on that one. But basically what I'm saying is no matter what kind of AD carry you play, there is like a specific thing in the preseason that champion will do and be good at. They just might struggle in other areas. So kind of just be aware of that. So when playing Jinx, you might be against a lot of lane bullies. You might need more defensive stuff like Doran's Shield, but you're going to be really good, if not better than some other AD carries at taking objectives. So there is that. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Of course, like, comment, and subscribe. I guess if you enjoyed the video, hit the bell notification, the actual subscribe button. Have a good weekend. Have a good Thanksgiving if you're celebrating it. But that is all from this video from me. So, I don't know which video will be next, because life can have a lot of kinks. So until this time, take care. GG, get jinxed. Thank you for watching, and enjoy pizza responsibly. Or I guess in this case, turkey.